Welcome back, Ninja community, and persons that might have watched my quality statement and disclaimer video. If you haven't seen that already, you should probably go and check that out. In this video, I'm going to be covering some kama techniques, okay? And it's probably an easier weapon than the nunchaku and other fluid weapons. However, it does have this blade, curved blade. So if you could find something to practice with that doesn't have a real edge on it, probably be safer. And like a curved edge, no matter how dull or if there's chips in it, will still typically cut. Okay, and if you're going to be training with weapons, and I advise against sparring with real weapons. They make training weapons that are a lot cheaper than hospital visits. But if you're going to train with real weapons, or even training weapons, a lot of times safety glasses are fairly affordable. And if you have like prescription, I suggest that you get prescription filled safety glasses like these, instead of putting your glasses underneath safety glasses that can still cause an improvised injury. Okay, so before I get into some basic movements with kama, I'm going to go over my quality statement disclaimer real quick. So let's see, I'll do this mostly out of liability, so I'll run through it real quick. The viewer understands my quality statement disclaimer video. Additionally agrees that this video could be treated as is with ballistic protection, which in short means I don't have a seal on it. Therefore, I don't guarantee the techniques or your application of the techniques. And if you're watching this video with the intention of using any of its content in committing a crime, that's also a crime. Actually, using my content in committing a crime is an additional crime. Okay, so the first thing you should know about kama is where to hold it. Okay, like for like combat type of situations. And one of the best is, of course, much like nunchaku, is in the middle. And what this does is the added end here keeps it to where you don't overextend at the wrist. Okay. Now originally this was also, much like most of the other Asian weapons, was a farming tool. This was used to cut the rice shaft and it would fall down. Okay, so the basic movements, it's like where to hold it. In the center. Now if you have near the end, you have a little bit more reach, right? And you have a little bit more power. However, this is not like a bat. This is a blade on the end of a stick. Okay? So it's more, it can be used more of a finesse manner. Okay? And of course it is also quite important when learning a new technique to observe the feet. The footwork is probably just as important as the upper body. Now, if the form or style you use has a solid foundation of footwork, you can build on that. You just have to figure out how it applies, just like the famous Bruce Lee has said, make it yours. Okay, but for this demonstration, I'll just be using some of my own ninja footwork. Okay, so I'm going to do some basic movements here. Now the first thing with kama is of course how to hold it, and I'd probably start here, right? And it's probably just as important to start with 2 as it is 1 on the kama. That is because you will need to know how to use it. So the first move I would use would be from here, would be up here and here. Okay, you can see that, right? And of course this is resting here. And it can go here while keeping the hand here. And these movements are mostly trained so that the person who is using the comma does not accidentally cut themselves. Okay? Probably put on my safety glasses for safety. Okay, so from here, and let's see, you have this move. You keep the back arm against, like the knuckles, against your hand. Okay, the practical application of keeping the other hand here is from if someone were to try to hook your weapon with another weapon or grab your weapon, you can slice them from here, right? So here, okay. And you can also do it this way. So just some basic exercises, some workouts, right? Probably do this. And it's important when learning a weapon, once you learn a basic technique like this, is also learn to move with the weapon so that if you're in a real fight, you can use the weapon in a real combat type situation. Okay, so I guess the first movement would be here, right? And here. Okay, and of course, learning to move with the weapon, you could probably start with basically moving forward first, okay? And then utilizing it with your footwork. And it's very important, if you're just starting out, to use training weapons, because a training weapon is more forgiving than a real weapon, okay? Like for instance, if this arm did not move, right? This arm here didn't move, and you did this move, you could accidentally injure yourself. Okay, so when you first move, when you first learn the movement, learn to move with it, or just simply forward and back like this. Again, holding it in the center is mostly to stop that overextension. And from here, if you were overextended, you might accidentally get yourself in a vital area, typically at the bend of an arm. Okay? This is typically where you would get grabbed at, right? And this is typically where this would strike at, is near the bends of the arm, the neck, right? The neck and the armpit. So, first movements are just simply here, here, pivoting with it, learning to move forward and back, and here. Okay, that would be the beginner moves for comma. Okay, so if you watched the video so far, you should hit like hard like a ninja and subscribe to be alerted when I do videos on YouTube. And I'm on Facebook under my artist name, Mel-El, or my 10th ninja name. That's M-E-L-E-O. And I have an Instagram, but I'm not telling you what my Instagram name is. You just have to be ninja, go figure that out yourself. Feel free to comment on this video and check out my other videos. Okay, so that was some of the basic moves with a comma. And I did some ninja arts and crafts where I did some upkeep on the handles. The next thing I'm going to do is do a little upkeep on the blade, as this has been mostly left outside for quite a while. So I will cover some more techniques with a comma. Okay, we will drop back to just one. This part is probably a little bit gory. Okay. So if you should probably start with two to get those basic movements at the same time, right? And learning how not to injure, your arms. Okay, dropping to one, you go to the same move and you keep the hand back here the same way. If someone attempts to disarm you, you could bring your other hand forward and prevent a disarm and still control the blade that way. Okay, so here. Also, if they came in closer, they ducked like a boxer is trained to duck, like bob and weave. And you did this. If they duck lower, you distract them first by slapping them in the face as you pull this to the back of their neck, and you would have them trapped until they either gave up or gave you their head. Okay, the next move is, suppose, this strike, this strike. This strike followed into this one. If you caught their neck, you would, okay, and let's see, it's here or here. This is a strike up underneath the arm, okay, up underneath the arm. Okay, if you had caught it, you could pull this way, if you can see that. So a strike from underneath the arm, right? Probably here. Because they might have their arms up, right, at you. You have to come across the top, right? It'd probably be easier to grab it this way. And they would either give up, let go, or they would give you their arm. Okay, so the next move with one, let's see, would be, let's see, some basic strikes. Okay, you have that. You have a parry. Okay. You have a ninja poem. I'll share with you a ninja poem. It can be used with a comma, and that of course is a warrior does not take the flower. Flower, the lotus, is only for a slave. A warrior takes a lotus only for a grave. Okay, the application is mostly escaping an arm grab. That is all of the application that I will make public knowledge. Do not grab a ninja by the wrist. You will be put on the ground and you will either give up or you will give him your head. Okay, so anyways, you can share my video with people who are ninja, but not with people who ought to be ninja because they might accidentally learn something. So, until next time, I suppose, just stay ninja, my friends. Stay ninja. Let's see, how do you turn this thing off here?